G'day there. There's something about this kitchen that's been bothering me for some time, and it's time to do something about it now. The whole kitchen probably needs a bit of a facelift. It's not desperately in need of it, and I don't really feel like doing that right now. But what I do feel like doing is this particular part of the countertop right here. First things first though, I'll grab this, I'll take this covering off, take off these side mouldings, and prepare it for what's about to come next. So I'm going to go ahead now and just apply some of my sealer. Lovely. Okay, now I've finished painting the board that sits on top of these cupboards. Now, in keeping with how I'm doing this place at the moment, I want to use whatever materials that I happen to have on hand. Now, this is not the original bench top. Someone's popped this on here as a bit of a makeshift, and it's got too much overhang. So I need to cut some of that off. So I'll do that now. I should have done it before I painted it, but I forgot about it, so I'll do it now. It's going to be an easy fix. And I just run that along there. Now that's going to be as straight as you like. Alright, so how does that go on now? I've sawn it off, given it just a touch up to take off the rough edges. That's all that needs. Much better overhang. Now I think I've got some offcuts of the, oh here it is. The vinyl that was used on the floor inside the little unit to make a nice, quick and matching countertop. Should be good. So I'm marking this out so I know where to put the adhesive, and I'm going to put it all on and then cut around it once it's stuck. Put some weights on it. I'll put my portable bench vise mount on it. Turn this around. You've got to watch this vise because they flip up when they're not clamped down. You've got to be careful. Alright, so it's the next day. The glue's been setting overnight, so it should be nice and secure there now. Let's go and check it out. Okay, so that's stuck on nicely. That's all nice and smooth. It's gone right to the edges. All I need to do now is trim these edges back to the border of the board. I'll turn it back. So the flexible blade on this knife allows me to press the blade right up against the board, and I'm cutting it perfectly square, so not on an angle that a stiff blade would do. Also, I'm not applying much pressure here. I'm just scoring it and then doing 2 more cuts, because the vinyl cuts fairly easily. It's cutting through, it's nearly through now anyway. There we go. Alright. And I'm not pressing too hard. Now let's turn it over and check it out. So that's nice and flush. Like that's really flush against there. No problems. And it's stuck right to the ends. I made sure I put that adhesive right to the ends. I think this is a better, for this project, this is a better way of doing it, because if you allow for a bit of overhang and then cut the overhang off, then you get this finish. And with these sticky adhesives, you get one chance. Oh yeah. Okay, so I've painted these little bits of edging. Now, I've only focused on those thin edge bits there. That'll be on the top and the bottom of it, because I'll finish painting that side of it when I actually put it on to the finished board there that I put the vinyl onto. Now, the reason I've done that is that I'm going to nail this on. I'm not going to stick it on, I'm just going to nail it on, and then I'll finish painting it on there just with a brush. Let's get on and do that. Also, when I was out there with that cardboard box on the lawn and spray painting this, I gave it about 4 coats, 4 light coats, and I gave it a very light sand in between just to get those little rough bits off, which means I gave my lawn 4 coats as well. Luckily, it's due for a mow. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to stand this board up on its edge and nail it down there. So I'm going to grab my vise, my portable bench vise, and put it on the floor, and that's going to give me an extra pair of hands. Just be careful, obviously there's a lot of weight on this end and you don't want that to flip up. So just be careful because this is a big vise. Okay, off we go. Pop him on the floor. Watch your fingers. I should have opened it before I pulled it down here. It's okay. Now, I need to put something in there to protect the board, obviously. Alright, this is a bloody fly buzzing around. One dead fly. I'll fill those little holes and then paint over it. Alright, now that looks pretty good. It's a little lockdown project, this one. So let's fill up those nail holes and then we'll be in business. I'll paint it, put it back on. Alright, well there it is. It's back on where it belongs. Now, I'm actually pretty pleased with how this has turned out. It's one of those projects that's been bothering me for a little bit. It needed to be fixed. It was the patchwork and I kind of patched a patchwork up, but I've done a much better job of it than what was there before. It matches the floor, because it is the floor. And it's one of those things you do when you're stuck at home and you're not sure what to do. You do these little projects. Now I did this with the materials that I've got on hand. Didn't cost me too much, didn't cost me anything. And I'm actually pretty happy with that. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you sticking out to the end, and see you next time. Cheers. Oh, I'm gonna go and mow that lawn now.